It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For the next 31 days on the FCPA Compliance Report, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
This month's sponsor of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent, integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across almost all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies and even individuals. Having served in over 750 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, visit this month's sponsor, Affiliated Monitors, at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. The questionnaire. The next step in the 5-step process of third-party risk management is the questionnaire. The term questionnaire is mentioned several times in the 2020 FCPA Resource Guide. It is generally recognized as one of the tools that a company should complete in its investigation to better understand with whom it is doing business. The questionnaire should be a mandatory step for any third party that desires to do work with your company. Remember, if a third party does not want to fill out the questionnaire or will not fill it out completely, you should not walk but run away from doing business with such a party. The UK Ministry of Justice's 6 principles of an adequate procedures compliance program stated in a questionnaire, the foreign business representative commits certain designated information in writing prior to the beginning of the due diligence process. One of the key requirements of any successful compliance program is that a company must make an initial assessment of the proposed third party and the relationship. The size of a company does not matter, as small businesses can face quite significant risks, and you will need more extensive procedures than businesses facing limited risks. The level of risk that companies face will also vary with the type and nature of third parties which it may have business relationships. For example, a company that properly assesses that there is no risk of bribery on the part of one group of its third parties will require nothing in the way of procedures to prevent bribery in the context of those relationships. By the same token, bribery risks associated with reliance on third-party agents representing a company in negotiations with foreign government officials may be assessed as significant and accordingly require much more in the way of procedures to mitigate those risks. What should you ask in a questionnaire? So what do you need to know? The scope of review depends on your risk assessment, high, medium, or low. The risk ranking will determine the level of information collected and the due diligence performed. The key element of this step is data collection, and that's where the questionnaire comes in. The initial step is to have the third party complete an application, which should include requests for information on background, experience, scope of services to be provided, relevant experience, list of actual and beneficial owners, references, and compliance expertise. Some of the additional areas I think you should focus on include ownership structure, describing the proposed third party as a government or state-owned entity, the nature of the relationship with local, regional, and governmental bodies. Are there any members of the business partner related by blood to government officials? 2, financial qualifications. Describe the financial stability of and the capital be provided by the proposed third party. Should obtain financial records audited for 3 to 5 years if available. Obtain the name and contact information for any banking relationship. 3, personnel. Determine whether the proposed agent will be providing personnel, particularly whether any of the employees are government officials. Make sure that you obtain the names and titles of those who will provide services on behalf of your company. 4, physical facilities. Describe and check out the physical facilities. 5, references. Obtain names and contact information for at least 3 business references. PEPs. or any of the owners, beneficial owners, officers, directors, PEPs? What about UBOs? It is imperative that you obtain the identity of any ultimate beneficial owners. Compliance regime. Does the proposed third party have an anti-bribery, anti-corruption compliance program? FCPA training and awareness. Has the proposed third party received compliance training by a recognizable entity? One thing you should keep in mind is that you will likely have pushback from your business team in making many of these inquiries listed. However, most proposed agents have already gone through this process, and they understand that providing this information on a timely basis, they can set themselves apart as a business differentiator, as more attractive to enter a business relationship with for your company. The questionnaire fills several key roles in your overall management of third parties. Obviously, it provides key information that you need to know about with whom you're doing business and whether they have the capabilities to fulfill your commercial needs. Just as important as what is said, if the questionnaire is not completely or only partially filled out, such as the lack of awareness of the FCPA, UK Bribery Act, or other ABC relevant laws. Lastly, the information provided or perhaps not provided in the questionnaire will assist you in determining what level of due diligence to perform. So what are today's three key takeaways? Number one, you must have enough information to fully identify the owners, the ultimate beneficial owners, and related parties to determine if there is a foreign official involved. This inquiry is critical because obviously if there's a foreign official involved and you make payments to the third parties, that could constitute a bribery payment. Additionally, if the foreign official has any actual contract signing authority, that's a clear conflict of interest. And finally, if the third party has undue influence over the foreign official due to familial relations, that can cause you problems. 2, all commentary on best practices compliance programs requires questionnaires. There's no doubt you have to have a questionnaire. And 3, if a third party refuses to fully respond to your questionnaire, don't walk away from the relationship. Run away from the relationship, as that's someone you do not want to do business with going forward.
If I could ask you to do so, would you pass on to at least one person this podcast series on the nuts and bolts of compliance, as I'm trying to expand my audience base for 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow, where I take up another topic in innovation in compliance. Thanks again for listening. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.